Well, guys, this is the last Halloween review of 2022. I can't believe that already we are moving on to Christmas, but I wanted to save this for the end. This is the new for 2022, basically BJ's Lightshow short circuit Ghoul trio, as they call it, as Jemmy calls it. This is a light show. This has a sound box. This has short circuit. It has red LEDs and green LEDs in the character's eyes. It has white short circuit in the tombstones, and it has purple short circuit in the ghost. It has a rotating mechanism in the ghost. In typical BJ's fashion, this is all completely just decked out. This is absolutely amazing. I've been wanting this for quite some time. Well, more specifically, I wanted to do a review on this for quite some time. But finally, I can bring you guys this. This is being sold at BJ's this year, originally for $199.99, $200. But then, beginning of this month, it went down to $180. And then when they released their fall catalog to have the discount to go with it, this got downgraded again to $160, or discounted again to $160. So ultimately I ended up paying $160 for this. As you can see by the box, 9.5 feet tall, plays spooky sounds, short circuit Ghoul trio with tombstones, giant and animated. That's the two key words that they use to describe it in that white box there. As you can see by the bottom there, that volume logo indicates that it is a light show, or at least a soundbox inflatable. I originally thought that this would play music, but instead it's just playing the creepy sounds, the classic creepy sounds, which I'm perfectly fine with. But that's just a rundown of the box. It's just a standard air-blown inflatable box design we've seen tons of times in the past, so there ain't really much to talk about there. I was astonished. My BJ's actually had, when I went to go pick this up, they had like 30, really 30 were all there, just in a pile in a mountain. So I was not really I wasn't concerned in the first place about them selling out, because BJ's always over orders and they always have stuff on discounts and on clearance. So definitely happy that now I decided to pull the trigger on this guy. But that's pretty much the rundown of just basically what it is. Let's go ahead and get it unboxed. Alright, so I'm not using a mic for this part, so sorry about the background noise. But so let's go ahead and get it inflated. Let's get it unboxed, really. This is just the standard BJ's size. Like, most of their inflatables come with this size box. So definitely really cool. The Dragon Globe from 2020 came with this box. There's a Pumpkin Reaper at some point had this box, and there's another Pumpkin Reaper this year. Both trees, the reaching trees, both have this box, and its box shape has just been used time and time again. But this actually has good tape, so that's something to talk about. BJ's surprisingly has good tape, which is the last store I'd be expecting to have good tape. But let's go ahead and take a look here. Here's the stake pack. It's one of the wider stake packs. It has 4 stakes for the tethers. It has 4 metal nails for the fan, and it has 2 spiral stakes for either side of it. So that's pretty much exactly what I was expecting. So that's pretty cool. Instructions, just standard air-blown inflatable instructions. No specific store instructions. But that's just opening it up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fan. Okay, YEF 200. I'm surprised to see that. With all this inflation happening and stuff getting cheaper, cheaply made, but more expensive to actually buy, I was expecting this guy to actually come with a 125. I have not seen any reviews on this. I think I started watching Rob's review, and then I shut it off just because I wanted it to be a surprise for when I opened it. So sorry, Rob. I'll go finish your review, finish watching your review after I'm done with this. But I'm very excited that has a 200. I think that this will do great in the display. There's all the controls for the ones for the animation, or the animation I don't think has any cords going to it, but one has short circuit, and then one's to the sound box. So definitely pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and get it inflated. Wow, just first impressions of this guy inflated. Holy crap. it is beyond expectations. I mean, it is kind of cheesy. It looks like a little, slapped together, if you guys can understand that. Like, just, it looks like a few characters just slapped together. Like, the best example I can give is that Nightmare Before Christmas archway at Walmart this year. That's just, a little Oogie and a little Jack just slapped on a generic archway. That's nothing, it doesn't feel like its own design. It does look a little slapped together-ish, but it is amazing. It's amazing to see the return of the light shows at BJ's. So definitely very, very interesting. As you can see, each of the tombstones have something different. That's skull and crossbones, the RIP tombstone, and then the cat on this one. I'm not the biggest fan of the cat, but it's okay. Something else you should know is that the tombstones are not connected to the actual characters. The characters stand on their own. So, it is a little flimsy like that, but it still works pretty cool. The green LEDs in the Pumpkin Reaper's eyes, and the red LEDs in the Grim Reaper's eyes, and then purple short circuit in the Ghost, as well as the animation mechanism, and then white short circuit in the tombstones. It's just all really amazing. Overall, I'm very impressed with this guy, but let's go ahead and get a closer look. Well, now that we've seen it during the day, let's go ahead and get the night view. Okay, so let's go over some more of the details. So the first thing that I'd say isn't so good is that the Grim Reaper's face is pretty bare. It's just those red LEDs with some, red print on the back. But I mean, that's it. I mean, I wish that the Grim Reaper had all sorts of other features because his whole body is really bland. But that's the first thing. Second thing, same thing with the Pumpkin Reaper. That's pretty bland. It's just the purple with orange and, at least the Pumpkin has some creepy cloth. And the Grim Reaper just has those fabric shreds, but they both should be a little bit more detailed. The Ghost looks fine. I mean, for a generic gemmy Ghost inflatable, it's just fine. The tombstones look great. For such an aggressively, scary inflatable, really think about it. Put yourself in like a 4-year-old kid's mind if they're walking through your display. Because I personally have people walk through my display when they want to. I don't offer tours and stuff, but if someone wants to walk through my display with their family, I'll let them. But, their little kids are probably going to be scared by this. The Grim Reaper, the Pumpkin Reaper, the Ghost. I mean, last year I had this little kid who was afraid of, I think it was the 12-foot pumpkins. He was afraid of those in the 12-foot on a tree. So if they're scared of that, they're definitely going to be scared of this. So for the most part, I definitely think I'm going to have the sound on it. But the sound is really the most scary part about it. I mean, it's those, it's classic. It's been around, that's the classic Halloween sounds. I wish they would do something new. But it would be pretty cool to see it as like an actual light show, like the tombstones light up to the music as well as the ghost. But that's fine. There's just standard C7s in the Grim Reaper and the Pumpkin Reaper, but then purple short circuit in the Ghost and white short circuit in the Tombstones. So that's all in all the lights, as well as obviously the LEDs in the eyes of the creatures. But definitely really cool. I love that the sound box is not too complicated. It doesn't have too many buttons. It's just legit a knob that you turn up this volume, you turn it down. That's it, and it's very basic. It has tether attachments on all three of the characters, on both sides of all of them. So all in all, 6 tether attachments on the actual inflatable. That's pretty cool. As well as on either side of the brown base, there's 2 more tether attachments for the spiral stakes. So that's just all the stake tether points, but definitely pretty cool. Overall, that's pretty much all the details to go over here. I mean, it does have that special fabric. I don't know what to call it on the tombstones, which it should. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But all at the end, that's just all the details. So let's go ahead and rate them. So the first category is design. And design, this guy gets like a 9 out of 10. Are you kidding me? It's not as perfect as it should be, or as it could be. But I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I can't believe, that we're seeing more soundbox inflatables when actually, like in 2020 and last year, 2021, it was at the point where we were questioning whether or not soundbox inflatables were even going to continue to be a thing, because the only one, to my knowledge, the only one we got last year, if I'm not mistaken, is just the saxophone snowman. But this year we're getting this, as well as the soundbox tunnel at home, which I can't wait to review that. And I think a few more soundbox inflatables. So definitely really cool that we are getting more of that, and it's finally back. And they're not just, wasting it. This is not a just a terrible inflatable that they decided to slap a soundbox on. This is definitely worthy of a soundbox. So definitely real cool that it has that. I love the design. I love it's a trio. I love, because we don't see stuff like that. It's combining all the characters that, they do separately. They do a bunch of Pumpkin Reapers. They do Ghosts. They do other Reapers. So to combine all 3 of those, that's just amazing. But, I mean, definitely really cool to see that they're doing that now. I love that there's 2 different types of short circuit, just like in the Sam's Club Haunted House this year. I love that it has a 200. That's rare to see anymore. So all in all, this thing just knocks it out of the park with the design and quality. So I'm going to actually double up both of those, as they both get a 9 out of 10. And as far as price goes, I cannot beat this price. I'm not going to say anything about the price, so I guess that gets another 9 out of 10. It's not as good as it should be, but, it should be. Inflatables do not cost that much to make. For those of you who are wondering, little $15 ones really cost like $3 or $4. So, I mean, they shouldn't really sell them for that much. This costs maybe at most $50 to make, and they're selling it for $160. That's an absolutely amazing deal. Original price was $200, and it's being sold for $200 or maybe even more than that on Bob's website, yourinflatables.com. Maybe go check that out if you guys can't find it at BJ's, or if you don't have a BJ's around you. But definitely really cool. So 9 out of 10 in all 3 categories, and all in all together, I'd give this a 9 out of 10, or a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect 10. It's not a perfect inflatable. No inflatable is really perfect, but this is like amazing to see some stuff like this, especially, the BJ's lineup is very extensive this year. We don't know what they're getting for Christmas. I'm not even sure they're getting anything new in for Christmas, because they over-ordered on those globes, so they could just reuse those. But definitely really cool that they're getting a full Halloween lineup, rather than, last year I think it was just this online exclusive tree, and then the Pumpkin Reaper from 2020 was back again. So definitely exciting that we're moving into this new direction where all these stores are getting some really cool lineups again. We're back in the, we're heading back to the good old days where inflatables used to be pretty cool. But definitely really cool that this is sitting in front of me right now. Definitely, if you want it for your display, go ahead and get it. there's no need to, rush to BJ's and act like this is going to sell out. This is not. All BJ's inflatables are around for forever. They're even online. They overorder all the time, which is always a good thing for us, but not really for them, because they're actually losing money because they sell them on a discount. But definitely really cool. All in all, this gets a 9.5 out of 10. Well, there's my review on this new for 2022 a Lightshow short circuit soundbox trio being sold at BJ's this year for originally $200, then was $180, but currently it is down to $160. But if you buy it on your inflatables, it's $200 plus, which is still a good deal considering that stuff is like $300 plus now. So all in all, this is an amazing inflatable. If you got it, then good for you. I mean, you made a great choice. If you didn't, then I'd say go to BJ's as soon as you possibly can and get it. But don't risk it selling out, especially if you're one of those people who just put up their Halloween stuff, right around Halloween time, mid-October, and they take them down right after Halloween, then you'll be fine with this guy. But there's some of the kids that set their stuff out in, like, I saw this one kid who put his stuff out on the beginning of August. Are you kidding me? No, that's not, like, it's okay to start putting up, like, fall stuff in August, but, like, that's just too early. But as far as, circling back to why that's important for this is that you can still go and get this, and it's still, on store shelves at BJ's. And they're not quite at the point where they're moving on completely to Christmas, but they are getting to that point. So I'd say go ahead and buy this. Don't wait, but definitely really cool. All in all, that's all I have to say about this guy. This is an amazing inflatable, and I can't wait to use it in the display. Well, I'm the Inflatable Bastard. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.